Gutterball! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gutterball number 31. Got my co-host and brother Jackson and our guest, Jack. And we're probably going to mess that up at some point. It's going to get confusing, Jackson and Jack. It's just the way it's going to go.
Happens.
But welcome, everybody. Hope everybody had a fantastic week. We're just going to kind of jump right into how everybody's week is going. We'll have Jack kind of do a brief introduction, just maybe briefly what he does for a living and kind of what he plans to maybe do in the future. And we don't really have any guest questions this week. We're just going to kind of just talk about current events, topics, and stuff like that. But I'll start off. I'll say, like, my week has been going pretty all right. It's been a super busy week at work, a lot of employee onboardings and a lot of like IT related fiasco stuff. Microsoft keeps messing things up and releasing bad updates that break stuff that I have to fix, so it sucks. But anyways, Jackson, how was your week?
Pretty good. Pretty uneventful. Just trying to figure out my footing in life. At work right now, they're redoing our entire department, so shit's crazy. It's all over the place. Other than that, it's been pretty good. How about you, Jack? How you doing?
So far so good. I work from home, so thank God I never have to leave my house.
Right.
So this is the one room I'm contained in probably 90% of the day.
And
Nothing new.
as far as like what you do for a living, you don't have to tell us like where you work, but like what kind of like career field are you in? Like what do you do day to day?
Right now I work for a giant health organization. I just basically like look through claims that providers send in, and then if they're smart enough to fill it out right the first time, I can give them their money. If not, I deny them. Say try again later.
Oh, what's that? You need money for your fucking bone marrow transplant? Denied.
No, grandma needs a new heart. Sorry, denied.
Denied.
And you're paying yourself. Sick.
That's a 45K bill coming to you.
You wish it was only 45.
You're routing all the payouts to an offshore bank account in your name.
It's like, just spell my name backwards.
Yeah, it's your name backwards.
You'll never know.
Well, anyways, hey man, thanks for coming on. The way we kind of know Jack, well, I know Jack is I basically went to school with him, and he graduated, or high school, and he graduated about a year or two ahead of me, and he's just kind of friends with the higher class like of people that were above me that I kind of knew as well. And so we've always kind of been acquaintances, and lately as I've been hanging out with a mutual friend Ricky and talking to him, he's kind of been there, so we've just kind of like rekindled that acquaintance, turned it kind of into a friendship here, and I'm glad you came on, so thanks for being here, Jack. So the first thing I want to talk about is The Forest 2. So that's,
Okay.
if people haven't heard, there's a video game coming out called Sons of the Forest. It's a sequel to the first game called The Forest on PC, and it's like a open world survival crafting game with a storyline driven kind of thing too. And if people don't know anything about it, basically you're on an island, there's a bunch of cannibals, build, shelter, survive, solve like where your son is, like find your son kind of deal in the first one. Now the second one I think kind of has a different take, but Jackson, I'll let you kind of go into it because I know you're kind of you're waiting for this game and as excited as I am. So
I don't know if I know more than you, but I think this one, the premise is like you're trying to get the president or some shit because he went missing, but you go in there geared up. I don't know. All I know is it's a fun, like, scary game to play, and it's co-op, and it's The Forest, so it's going to be decently well made. So I think it's going to be sick. We're going to do a Let's Play for that, of course, so that's more content for y'all to soak up. Pretty excited for that, though. It's going to be really fun.
yeah, it is going to be a good time, and hopefully maybe we can figure out streaming to both Twitch and YouTube by that time. If we do, we'll put full-length VODs on there and then like cut up and put YouTube videos out. If not, though, it might just be cut up YouTube, like part 1, part 2.
Yeah, or you can go to Twitch. They save VODs on Twitch. You can always watch those if you really want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much more about that. Well, speaking of games, we might as well just go into the Last of Us show. Have everyone watched it here, or who hasn't?
Have not.
Yeah. We don't want to. I guess we don't want to. I'm like, spoilers. The game's been out for 6 years.
No, spoiler.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV like that.
Well,
so
hold up really quick, Jack. Have you played the first Forest game?
Yes. Remember we played it.
Jack, sorry.
Oh shit!
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. We're gonna mess it up.
Sorry.
It's all good. But Jack, so have you played it at all, or like, are you looking forward to the second one?
Yeah, that I think I was looking for. I have a little list. I'm looking for The Forest 2 because me and Rick actually played that a ton. I love the little walkie-talkies because we meet each other on like Discord. So all you hear is like
Right.
something's beating my ass, and then you hear nothing else for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's really fun in VR. Force
That's
2.
cool.
I don't know anything about Force 2 story, and it's interesting how you have to go into a forest, if this is what it is, to save the president.
Yeah, it's some
I
like
think it was something.
politician
You're
or
going to
something.
save somebody. I don't
Yeah.
know though.
I
100%.
what I
Interesting.
do like is that they've added an AI that's just there with you that survived the crash or whatever, and
Oh, cool.
he will help you build. So like you just tell him to like go get logs and stuff, and he'll help you. So because I'm sure you guys knew like building in the first one, it was like a long like if you were by yourself, you couldn't build like a massive cabin in like a half an hour. Like it would take a long time chopping trees and sleeping and
very
getting
annoying.
food. So I think it's cool they're adding an AI that helps you like build and gather and do certain things. And then I've seen a lot more guns in the trailers for this one, and I'm excited for that. Like I can't wait to just blast cannibals with like an AR-15 or something. Like it's gonna be sick. So,
Yeah.
but yes,
Absolutely.
rolling into the Last of Us show. I know Jackson's watched the first episode. Jack, have you watched the first episode of the Last of Us TV show yet?
No. The only real media I consume is on YouTube. It's hard for me to
That's fair.
sit through TV
Well,
anymore.
if you've played the first Last of Us game or seen playthrough, the first episode is literally like the first 2 missions in the first game. Like they've nailed it like pretty. They changed a few things, yeah, to make it more like obviously like TV show like friendly or make it like kind of move along faster. What I kind of thought, and this is spoilers for anybody who hasn't like seen the first episode yet, I kind of thought they moved very quick to getting out of the city, which tells me
Really,
they're gonna.
I had no idea they'd be out the first episode.
Yeah, like which really tells me that, and I'm hoping it's this way, that a lot of the content for this, at least, like we still don't know yet the timeline, like if this one season's going to be the first game or if it's going to be like the first game spread across 3 seasons. Like I'd prefer they kind of stretch it out, but I'm thinking like a lot more of the content's going to happen on the adventure that Joel and Ellie kind of go on to get to. Do they go Seattle at first? Where do they go at first?
I think they're going to Seattle.
Maybe it is. I'm not 100% sure, but they're basically trying to get her to these doctors at some big Firefly camp or something. But Jackson, what did you think of the?
There's a couple things. I don't agree with a lot of the character like actors, like how they look. I don't like Ellie's look. I don't like Joel. I do like what's that woman's name? Marie? Is that her? What's her name again? What am I thinking?
You thinking of Tessa?
Tessa, yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
I thought she
liked
was
her.
good
I
casting.
thought she was good. Yeah, I thought she was good cast. It's pretty good. I wasn't super blown away by anything. I really liked the chaos they had at the beginning with the city falling apart. That was what I was waiting for because I love that type of shit. Thought they did really good with the airplane crashing and shit.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Yeah, I'm just hyped for them to start killing clickers and bloaters and shit, man.
Yeah,
That's what
like
I really
all the
want.
infected. I can't wait to kind of see what they got cooking.
I liked how they wrote in that junkie guard that he was giving pills to.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he's beat his fucking face in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll see how the violence is, because again, even the creator said like in video games, it's just pixels dying. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to tone down the violence in the show, which is like whatever. I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, right. I like more violence. Like
babies.
I don't. If you played the Last of Us game, it's not for the faint of heart. Like you're slamming people's heads in the glass, like fucking,
I honestly hope.
Shit.
I honestly hope though we get to see Joel like just like brutalize people like you can do in the game. Like
even on the online, those executions are brutal. You just get on top of someone and then load a mag in their face. Like, what the fuck, That's crazy.
The one where like
they're not gonna do that.
You kick them over, you cock the shotgun, and you aim it right at their face. They push it away, but you pull the trigger and you blow their leg off, and then you cock it again, and you blow their head off. It's just so ridiculous.
And
it's
you can wear
skin. I see that.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to see? Yeah, show that. That's what people want. Man.
Well, Jack, to bounce off you. At first, I thought the casting for Joel and Ellie was bad, but then I watched the first episode. This was before seeing the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pedro Pascal, and maybe I'm saying his name wrong, I think he's going to be a good Joel. I do think them aging him 20 years by just giving him a little white of hair wasn't that great.
Doesn't work.
Like, just gray a little bit.
Look,
but still, like, you think about it, like, you think about the game, he was still pretty, like, spry for how old he was. I mean, he kind of had to be, being, like, a survivor or, like, he's, like, what do you call it? He's a smuggler, right? That's basically what he's doing in the 20 years after the outbreak happened. But Ellie's casting, though, maybe I need to give it time. It's bad. I don't think
She
she seems like a great actor, but I just
Mhm.
I don't know.
She gives off the scared schoolgirl vibe, and I don't like that because in The Last of Us, Ellie was never scared. Like she was like a goddamn adult at that age. Like just I was scared of Ellie, she's like stabbing people and didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This one seems like she's a little like immature and maybe just
Yeah.
has some time to grow up. I can't see her though like doing some of the things Ellie did throughout the game. I can't see that actor doing any of that right now. So I hope they mold her a little more.
Yeah, and I haven't played the first one in a long time or even the remastered, but was Ellie in military school growing up? Just like they did in the show?
I don't know. I really don't. I
Because if
honestly
so,
cannot say.
then that would really contribute to like why is she acting like this? She should be like a lot harder, like
Mhm.
a lot
Yeah,
more.
more metal.
Yeah,
Quick
exactly.
question:
Yeah,
Is she the one that looks like a brick or no?
yeah. I guess she kind of looks like a brick. Yeah,
He's got that flat face going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
No, whatever.
Uncle Tommy
Yeah.
was a great casting.
Yeah, he looked all right. I
Yeah,
think he was good.
yeah. I'm down.
Excited for Nick Offerman as Bill.
Oh
gonna be
yeah, I
sick.
forgot that, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, when
Yeah.
I was thinking about, they're making a TV show. I'm like, who would be good as Bill? Nick Offerman, and then they casted Nick
They cast-
Offerman as Bill, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, man,
That works out great.
Totally
Perfect.
down.
Should have
No
been paid for
complaints.
that.
Right, yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah. You should
ideas for free.
Jack, you should definitely, I mean, like, I know you're not into TV and you can mainly watch YouTube, but if you're gonna watch any show, like, so far for a video game to like TV show / movie adaptation, first episode is like an hour and a half. It's pretty good so far. We'll see, because I think obviously one's coming out next week, and I'll watch it and kind of see what's going on, but highly recommend. The Halo TV show can go fuck itself. The
Yeah,
first
get that
episode
outta
was
here.
good, and the rest of it was horrible. I'd rather watch
Something
Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah, watch for it on that. Well, something I was watching with the show is I didn't like Ellie and Joel and Sarah's relationship. But then I watched the gameplay of like the actual game, and I'm like they replicated that really well because I
Yeah.
didn't realize how their relationship was. Then watching the game, I'm like, oh, they actually did a really good job doing that.
Because
So.
it's like obviously Joel's her dad, but it seemed like more buddy, just like in the game.
Right? Yeah,
That's why I
what
thought
it
it
was.
was
It was
kind
kind of weird.
Yeah,
Then
it was
Also she's
Interesting.
black, so how does that work?
weird.
the hell?
Shut
I'm
up.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, you're gonna be one of those people that hate the Little Mermaid remake.
Oh,
not
yeah.
because they pushed her eyes too far apart.
No, yeah, you piece of shit.
You.
I'm just kidding.
I was kidding about the brick comment.
Yeah.
She looks like a brick. You're shaking your head.
She's a child. It's not her fault.
Yeah, can't control it. Blame the parents.
Anyways,
Is there 2 games of that?
yeah, there's
Last
2.
of Us 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So honestly, like as I've been as I watch the show, it makes me want to go replay them both. The thing is, dude, is I just need to buy a PS5 because I have a PS4 and I have both games, but like I know they remastered the first one, I think, again, right? Or did they or they remastered the second one?
they
I don't
did.
know what they did. Anyways, I want to buy them both in like the latest and greatest graphics and kind of like play them through again because honestly, as much as people shit on remakes and stuff like that, for certain games it's okay. Because if it's a game where
The
it's got
games you like?
yeah, the games I like, yeah.
Okay.
But no, but for certain games like that have a really good single player story, if they remade those every once in a while, I wouldn't complain. Like like there's nothing wrong with that. But the fact that they like remaster Call of Duties, it's like,
Well,
I guess
whatever. I mean, you could
Yeah.
do that.
Would
It's
you
not
be
very
okay?
cash money.
Is it what the Uncharted series a little bit about that? Like you're kind of playing a movie? I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's made Naughty Dog, the same people that made the Last of Us made all of the Uncharted games.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Makes sense then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like their 2 big AAA titles?
Didn't they make Watch Dogs?
Did they?
Mhm.
No,
think they
wait.
did.
Was that Ubisoft?
Naughty Dog?
That was Ubisoft that made Watch Dogs.
Maybe I'm wrong. But
Naughty Dog also did Alan Wake, right? Or is that?
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
think you're right. I think they did Alan Wake.
Yeah.
I never played Alan Wake, but I've watched somebody stream like when that game was popular. I watched someone streaming it, and it looked fun.
Never really
That's-
played it though.
Neither have I.
I haven't either. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with Last of Us. I didn't play it. I watched like someone play
Mhm.
99% of it. So I was like, Looks great, but like since I kind of already know like all the spoilers, and my Steam, has 1,000 games on it, I'll probably just pick one of those for now.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when the first Last of Us game came out in like what 2012, 2013, I literally bought a PS3 just to play that
Mm-hmm.
because like it was exclusive. So
And I think you and a lot of people did, because I actually talked to my coworkers the other day about this. Like, most people don't know that Last of Us beat out GTA 5 in sales the first year it came out, which is crazy because a PS3 exclusive game beats out GTA 5 the first year it came out, which is wild. And it's hard to think that game came out in 2013,
it
man. That's
is.
so long ago.
It's
true, yeah.
because that like I was
Eight.
literally I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school. Just
Yeah.
like weird to think
You
about.
remember our school newspaper? They had a whole I remember when GTA came out because our school had like a whole article on GTA on like the front page. I was like, what is going on?
Were they did trash in it or something? Was it like
No,
just
but, like
bad?
it's one of the biggest games because I think
Okay.
after like a couple of months it reached like $1 billion in revenue. Like
Yeah.
It's a
so
lot.
quickly. And it
Mhm.
still is one of the biggest games sold to like this date every year.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
just drives me crazy.
Well, not
Yeah.
to mention, like, if you play your cards right and just download all the platforms on PC, it's been given away for free now, like every
Free,
once in a
yeah.
while,
Yeah,
like every
yeah.
couple months. And like, but you want those shark cards, bro? Give me that shark cash, whatever they're selling the kids, because they're buying it.
Ben, I'm gonna out you. Ben, I know you have spent easily over $500 in shark cards back in the day.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I'm outing
Oh,
you.
no.
Yeah, you're getting dunked on, dude. Yeah, we
No
were
wonder
kids.
they're not making a new game. Thanks,
Right, yeah.
Ben.
Thanks,
right, they're
Ben.
good. Yeah, no, I think I bought that game like 6 times, man. Over and over. And each time it just got cheaper
I
and
just want
cheaper.
Grand Theft Auto 6 with a great storyline. We got Ben over here keeping Rockstar afloat. You know,
Yeah,
so
dude.
I'm kind of getting pissed.
Hold them on their back. Yeah. Shit, man. What a market in that. Holy fuck.
Oh, there's
Virtual
something
money.
I don't know if I watched or saw something. It's like, the series is it Fire Emblem? They
Yeah,
haven't really
yeah.
made a new game because like I don't know how many are in the series, like more than 1, 2, 3 maybe.
Yeah, there's a few of them, I think, and one of the big expensive ones is for GameCube.
So yeah, all
Mhm.
of those console and PC games put together, they came out with a mobile version of it, like a game.
Yeah,
With all those games put together, that mobile app is easily made like I don't know the metrics, but way more than those games put together. And I just think it's like, yeah, I guess if you're gonna absolutely like make millions a week on this, why
yeah.
would you make a new one? Or
It's
like why would you push it?
yeah,
Exactly. Who cares?
it's one of those rare games where when it came out, it sold horrible and they didn't sell a lot of
Mhm.
copies, but then it got like cult classic praise, and now it's just worth hundreds of dollars for a copy for any of those old consoles, like no matter which one it is. And
It's
it's
crazy.
Yeah,
it's
it's
weird
crazy.
because
Yeah,
not a
they
lot
are
of
pretty expensive.
games like end up like that where they're terrible when they launch, but then like 15 years later it's a hit. You know, it's
Yeah,
super
right.
odd. But then it also kind of brings me into like these games that come out now that like just hit the top of charts. Like they're so stupid and simple, but like they sell well. Like Fall Guys. Like, how come I didn't think of Fall Guys? Like,
Yeah.
like there's
Good game
like
for kids.
it's a weird like man, like how do you even think
Bigger
of a game like
audience.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like interesting like how they could just come up with something that's so simple yet kind of complex but like well made that it just sells super well and it's at a good price point. Wasn't Fall Guys like $20 when it came out?
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was free, but yeah.
What did I think Fall Guys came out? Then was it Crab Games TV show? Because on Steam there's a free version of like the game Crab Games. I remember that being pretty big with streamers on Twitch for a while. Like, don't get me wrong, it was really fun. It was like Fall Guys, but not as wacky.
Yeah.
I will say when you do join that, I'm trying to think what's worse. It kind of reminds me like an NW2 lobby. I join, hey guys, what's going on? And just I hear the N word 30 times.
Yeah, right.
That's being
Awesome, man.
berated.
Yeah, just Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Oh my God, they're some fucking
gamers
noob kids on there.
unite.
Yeah, gamers.
Did you guys see that Microsoft is laying off like 10,000 people? Like starting next week or this week or something like that. Like basically I was reading up on it and mainly it's affecting gaming divisions, which
Bastards.
course it
I'm
is.
sure as you know, Microsoft bought up a lot of the
Bastards.
big AAA like
bought everything, yeah, of
developers in like
course.
the last like few years. And so it's going to be affecting like Xbox and Bethesda. And then like what I read is mainly it's going to be Bethesda Game Studios, the Starfield portion. So like, that's their new game
So
that's
it's gonna
coming
come
out.
broken as fuck.
Yeah,
like
and then
normal.
also they're cutting people from 343 a lot from Halo. But I guess they
Fucked it up.
asked like a big representative at Microsoft like how much from each, and like they didn't say, but a guesstimate is like
Yeah.
so let's see. This mass layoff arrives exactly 1 year after Microsoft announced plans to purchase Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. It's expected 80% of the cuts are coming from the game division. So that's like crazy. So a lot of it's like game
A lot of money.
developers and stuff. And like, I don't know about you guys. Have you guys noticed in the last like year or two a lot of these big tech massive layoffs? And like I honestly wonder if a big spur or like thing that kind of started it was when Twitter got bought by Elon, and Elon just like cut it in
Yeah.
half, basically.
Cut out the shit sandwich, you know, cut off the crust. He didn't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Ah,
Get him out of here.
Like, what do you guys think about that? Have you guys noticed that? Like a bunch of these tech giants like doing mass layoffs, like of a bunch of their divisions and stuff?
I haven't really can't say I noticed it more, but I can't say I'm against it for 343. Get rid of the whole team. Just bring in
Good
some new
start.
people. Yeah. Bring
How
in
about-
me. I'll write you a game.
You guys just
I
give
got
it
you.
back to Bungie?
Yeah.
Bungie, Wish.
Yeah, Bungie wants nothing to do with that.
No.
They're not
Well,
touching that.
Yeah, it just makes you think because like it's the same thing as like when Blizzard was bought. It's just because since they have massive IPs, and you know, Microsoft has billions on billions compared to like Sony trying to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just get comfortable, and it's like that innovation kind of dies off with that and making new games. That's
Mhm.
why it triggers me. I do like a lot of these remakes, but at the same point, it's like movies. Like, let it die. Think of something new. Disney,
Yeah.
do something different. I hate you enough. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
you're
I just want
totally
a new
right.
movie.
I've seen this.
Yeah, like even with the Avatar or the fucking Top Gun, people are like, "Oh, did you go see Avatar?" I'm like, "No, because I'm not gay." So
It's like
but-
3 hours, dude.
Yeah, like I don't fucking care. Oh, really? They spent $2 billion on it. I don't care. You can write a good movie in a $60,000 budget. You know, fucking what's that one? What am I thinking? Evil Dead. There you go. Go watch that. You know, no money in that. Perfect movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's that game you're looking forward to, Jack? Atomic Heart.
Jackson. Yes, I am looking forward
Sorry.
to Atomic Heart.
No,
I knew
No,
I was
I
gonna
am
mess
looking
it up.
forward to Atomic Heart.
sorry.
I've been following that game since 2018, and I never thought it would come out. And it's coming out, so I'm actually pretty excited for that.
2018. Huh?
It seems
So,
like-
like,
yeah.
what's it? Isn't it like Bioshock esque? Like, what's it like?
It's kind of Bioshock-esque. Pretty much it takes place during the Cold War, like the 30s, but it's the idea that if Russia got internet in the 30s, but only Russia got internet, you know?
What the-
So like there's a bunch of robots and time travel and all sorts of shit. I just like the atmosphere of being in like fucking, you know, old Russia, USSR type shit.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it is. The gameplay didn't leaves much to be desired, but that was like a year ago when they released that. So it's coming out next month. So that's 2 games I'm gonna be picking up probably next month. It's The Forest and that.
I'll
Have
definitely
you-
be buying The Forest.
I think is it Metro that like Metro 2033. They're older games. But it kind of gives you because I love Bioshock, but it gives you like that utopian. It's like
Yeah.
Mhm.
everything's dead around you. You're in a big city. I think it's in Russia. You use the metro to get everywhere because people live underground.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's
Those
like
campaigns are really fun. The
Mhm.
newest, I want the Force really bad, but I can't wait.
that.
Fuck
Stalker?
Russia. Sorry, Russian people that
Yeah.
watch.
Oh yeah.
I
Fuck
want
Russia.
Stalker 2 to come out because I think
Oh.
they're in Ukraine developing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you motherfuckers. Putin, you
That-
chubby bitch.
Dude, it's gonna be so realistic.
sick.
They're gonna be like, "All right, we need a decimated town." They're just gonna walk outside. It's
Yeah,
so
it's-
fucked up.
That's funny you say soccer because I was thinking about playing that, not even gonna lie, because I was watching a streamer the other day and I'm like, this game looks fun as fuck. But I haven't got around to that.
I mean,
It does look sick though.
Jack, you can just get
Mm.
the first one and apply a bunch of mods to it, and apparently it's like literally playing like,
Yeah,
a new
actually,
game.
there's-
But
There's a mod called Anomaly that I was gonna download, so it makes it like harder, I think, but see how that is.
It's either Anomaly
Ivan's
because
really
I
into
have the
that.
mod where it stitches all 3 maps from all the games into one, and then you can
Okay.
play. Have you ever heard of Ceci Z, the YouTuber?
I think
think I
I have.
have,
Maybe.
no.
Yeah,
Amazing
yeah.
YouTuber.
Okay.
But he basically goes over the whole Stalker series. I've played most of it, but you can pick any faction. There's like 20 to 50 different factions you pick.
Jesus.
And the best thing is it gets rid of all the voice acting that's in English and it puts it all to Russian because like you're in like literally Russia.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nice to atmosphere.
Feel like you're in Russia. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, that's sick. Yeah, we'll check that out.
Heck
Soccer
yeah.
2.
Jackson, you like Adele? Like new Adele songs or like
No, I don't like new Adele, Paul. Okay, get out of here. All
you
right.
like
It's
classic
like
Holy
Adele?
shit.
it's like the old
Damn.
adage that every gay guy likes Cher. It's like I like Cher and I just happen to be gay. Okay, get out of here. Fuck off, people.
Wait,
Just
what came first?
oh shit. Oh fuck. Probably Cher. Honestly,
Oh,
it might have.
so
Might
there's
have.
a lie.
Yeah, there you go. Oh fuck.
He
No,
just
dude. Adele. Fuck, dude. Don't even say Adele got range, motherfucker. She'd be going off on that shit, dude. Skyfall.
she's good. She has a
Mm,
good voice.
that's a
Oh,
banger.
dude, yeah, I've actually just watched that movie the other day, and I was like, "Is this
It's a good
Adele?" I was listening
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
like it's Adele. No, I do like Skyfall. Nah, Daniel Craig's all right. It's a Bond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like to me, he's mid tier. I mean, everybody's gonna shit on me for this. Pierce Brosnan, best Bond.
Sure.
Just
I don't got
silence.
nothing- I don't got nothing.
You
I got
seen any
nothing
of
for
the
that
James
one.
Bond movies, Jack?
Yeah, but I'm Hollywood. I don't care about.
That's fair. Hey, it's
I
not
know
for
Will
everybody.
Smith
Yeah.
because I Am Legend and him slapping someone and not getting arrested.
And not getting arrested. That's all I remember. Yeah, I
Oh,
remember I'd
dude.
never get tackled. Yeah, if I did that, I'd be in cuffs.
You'd be shot.
Yeah, yeah, I would. Damn right I would. Fuck, man. I wish just a huge part. Every time I see that video, I wish Chris Rock just came back with a 1-2 combo and knocked Will.
Oh.
Imagine that though. If he just came back and just knocked the fuck out of Will Smith
just
on
like
stage.
just left hook uppercut, just
Yeah,
like just a
just
like not even
No,
a cross jab or
how
a
about just a
jab cross.
front forward kick, dude, right in his face? And that's it.
God.
He's like,
knows,
you're
like,
out. You're out of here, buddy.
He just what is he has the mic? He just beats him over the head with it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
bludgeons him.
I always thought, just as a joke, that was like a scripted thing, but Chris Rock's an asshole and just made it real. That they planned that together and they just made it seem like it's real. Chris Rock doesn't tell the truth. That'd be so funny.
Like what?
He just
what
baits them.
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like man, like that whole thing. I feel like, God, it. You look at it and to me it looks so scripted, but then it's
It
also
does.
like it isn't at all, and it's
No.
like what? Like
It's so weird.
The biggest thing, yeah, it looks scripted because it's just unfucking believable.
Right,
As,
it
like,
really
an
is.
actor, his quality, nothing was taken. There's no security. He still like won. Was it the Oscars? Was the slap?
yeah,
Yeah,
he
and
still
I
did.
still
He still
won
did
one.
the standing ovation or like the
And he's
yeah.
the
still
speech.
crying. I'm like, oh
Right.
my Christ, dude.
Dude, what the fuck? A comedian hits a comedian for making jokes. I don't know what the hell.
G.I.
I
Jane
thought
2.
I thought it was a meme when I first saw it. Will
Yeah,
Smith
for
slaps Chris Rock. Like, yeah, that's a fucking joke. There's no way.
Well, like I know that they were expecting Will Smith to go up on stage, obviously, because afterwards he did. But like, wouldn't there be like security there to prevent literally
You'd think they
anyone
would,
from
yeah.
going up there?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I'm gonna dress up as Will Smith and slap somebody. So, there you
I
go.
don't.
I know.
blackface.
Don't do Will Smith. Yeah,
Don't
that'd
do
be
Will.
so bad.
Dress up as anybody
That'd
else.
be so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe if I squint my eyes like
Maybe I
all the way
squint my-
closed.
Yeah, really hard.
Um.
I could do a good white face Will Smith. I think it'd be
You
pretty
just
good.
painted even more white somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be a
um,
clown.
have you guys been following that like Idaho stabbings, like those 4 or 5 college students that got like stabbed, like I don't know, 4 months ago now, 3 months ago? Have you guys heard about this?
I
Not,
want
no.
to say something, but no, I don't remember anything about it.
So I'm gonna give you the Paul way of explaining it. That's probably entirely incorrect, and someone's gonna shit on me in the comments. But anyways, like 3 to 4 months ago, like they just found 4 or 5 college kids stabbed to death. I think like 3 out of the 4, 4 out of the 5 were girls, and the 5th one was like a dude. They're all stabbed to death, like in their sleep, basically. I think, and
Shit.
it took them like a while to find any suspect. Like everyone was like kind of surprised, but like a month and a half, 2 months in, they get who they believe to be the suspect, simply because literally the only evidence they had to go on at the time was like a white Hyundai that was caught on like a traffic cam, like near there, like at the time of like when they think the murders took place. And they arrest this dude in Washington State, or wait, he was in some other state other than where this took place. Yeah, so he was in, I think, Washington State, and then they extradited him or brought him back to Idaho. He was with his dad in the car that they think he was in at the time. And I guess they found DNA on a sheath that was left at the scene of the crime. But like this guy they caught, Brian Kohlberger, he's literally like, he has like a PhD like in criminal, like it's crazy, dude. Like the guy
Yeah.
they got, he's literally in school. Let me see here. So he's a PhD student at Washington State University, so it explains why he was back in Washington for school. um
Yeah.
he was a 15-minute drive from the rental home where the 4 students were stabbed to death, and he was studying something like criminal or like law related, which is kind of crazy. But like he wore gloves, like he covered a lot of his tracks, but they're kind of wondering like why he left the knife sheath behind with DNA on it, and if it's even related. Like obviously, I'm not saying he did it. It's pretty fucking clear he did it though. Like it's like
It looks
Right.
like the DNA they found was literally an animal strand from one of the fucking people. They had their pets, and then one of their hairs got on it, and that's how they caught him.
that's
So it's
crazy.
like, oh, that's the same pet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Catch
yeah.
your fucking anything. But yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, yeah. And so he's dude, like he's like smiling in court when they're reading him the stuff. And like the sad thing is, dude, is he probably has a decent case if they can't connect that DNA somehow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like improve it.
Mhm.
Like, cause a jury could just as easily believe him. But I don't know, dude. Just look at the guy. If you look up Brian Kohlberger, dude, he kind of looks ghoulish.
He looks
He,
pretty sus.
Hey
he looks
there.
like he could be a good
Yeah.
stabber.
Hey there, smooth
Yeah,
skin.
this guy stabs.
He got a stabby face.
He just looks suspect as shit. It's like, yeah, I'm
Does
pretty
look
sure
suspect.
that's your guy. I'm pretty
I
sure he
feel like
did
it's gonna this is what's gonna happen because he's sorry, but he's a little handsome. It's gonna be one of those things where like the women start fantasizing over him like they did with those school shooters. Oh, but he's cute. Let him out. He only killed 20 people. But he's kind of cute though, you know? Like look at that.
Sheesh.
Yeah. This weird fetishization of fucking serial killers. I don't like it.
And then like some ladies like
Yeah.
I walked past him when he was leaving, and it was literally the friend of one of the people that just went to bed. It like and just like not knowing her friend was like everybody was dead. Like, you know, like
Oh
like
yeah.
I walked past her like him in the hallway, but like he was also wearing a mask, so like how do you know it was him? Kind of deal. Like he was wearing a
That's
ski
true,
mask
yeah.
or something, I guess. But all I know is like I hate that when like murders or something like this happen and some eyewitness comes out. It's like, oh, I totally saw that guy, but it's like the dude was in like a full mask and hoodie. It's like, how do you know it was that guy though? Like it's
Exactly.
almost like they try to take it as like their claim to fame, like their 5 minutes or whatever, which is kind of fucked up. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm interesting that this is like one of the biggest like larger murders that actually have like an interesting case tied to it lately. So I'm interesting to see like how this kind of goes. I think he's definitely getting life in prison without possibility of parole, but they can give him the death penalty too in Idaho, I think. So he's facing that too. But I bet you they'll just give him life without parole.
Guys,
Fuck that
let's
guy.
just
That's
calm
penalty.
down. He already lives in Idaho. It's bad enough.
Yeah. 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 That's his punishment right
Yeah,
there.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah, but fuck that guy.
Monster, yeah.
I've heard Boise. I've actually heard Boise, Idaho's like really nice, and like a lot of people from the west coast, like California and stuff, are moving out there. The problem is it's just really high cost of living in Idaho.
Oh,
I would live
I
there.
didn't
It
know
kind of
that.
looks
Interesting.
beautiful in Boise, like the mountains and stuff. I was actually considering moving there, but God, it's really expensive, dude.
Where do you live now, Paul? Cities?
Yeah, I'm in the cities. It sucks.
Oh.
Like I've literally talked to people that I work with, like my upper management, like, hey, in the next couple of years, depending on like if I want to move back home, like up north where you guys are at to be with my family, I'm either gonna do that or I want to move somewhere where it's like warmer because like I've never been around that climate a lot in my life and I kind of want to move somewhere where it's just generally warmer, even if that means
Yeah.
like something mid warm tier like the East Coast, like North Carolina, South Carolina, because like some of those like mid-sized cities comparable to like Duluth or like 250,000 pop at the most, like those a lot of cities there have like lower costs of living. So like maybe buy a house there or something. But again, like I've never been to any of those places really. So like my plan is my girlfriend and I are gonna take a road trip this spring, try to hit a bunch of states, visit a lot of areas, and just kind of see like what the vibe is and kind of like what we like. But honestly, it's probably gonna end up I'm gonna be moving back up north. Like it's probably just gonna happen. If it does,
Yeah, never leave.
I know if it that I have to be able to work remote though. If I can't, then I have to find a bigger city because that's kind of where IT is like where it booms, right? But if I do move back up north, I'm buying a country home. Like I'm buying land out in out on Gene Duluth or something, or I'm living out in South Range of Superior. Like I'm gonna be up there, but I'm gonna be kind of out in the country because I kind of want some land. So
Did you say the East Coast you were also thinking of?
yeah, like the southern East Coast, kind of like North South Carolina.
All I'm gonna say is if you move anywhere close to like water and you have a fucking like hurricane season, I think that's the dumbest shit in the
No, so
world.
that's why I
Mhm.
consider places like
Hot
Winston,
take, but
like that's why I consider places like Winston Salem, North Carolina, where it's so far
nah,
inland that like the last time a hurricane even touched them was in 1989, and it literally just uprooted some trees on the edge of town. Like it didn't really like.
bastard.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't like destroy shit. No, I know, like that's dude. There's so, when you consider moving to a whole other state, like across the country, there are so many factors: crime rate, cost of living. Is there ample jobs for the field you're in?
Mhm.
How's the housing? Or like, I guess you consider that cost of living, but like, how's the housing market in general? Can you find a house? And then also
Yeah.
just like natural disasters. What's the climate like year round? You know, there's so much shit. And like when I come from researching all this, you're never gonna find a spot that's absolutely perfect. Otherwise, everybody would live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
what I found is like, oh, places that have great climate, typically have higher cost of living and more crime. You know, because like it can happen. You know, there's more like people that are lower income or homeless like tend to go to places where you can be outside year round and like survive. So like that kind of all comes into play, but it's interesting. I've honestly like learned a lot about like the demographics in the United States, kind of researching places to live and just kind of like the geography and like how everything's like laid out. Because let's be honest, I haven't had a geography class in 7th grade with Mr. McEwen, so it's been a fucking minute.
Do you want to guess the most hated state in the U.S.?
What is it?
California.
Most hated state, Florida.
Iowa. Texas. I don't know. That's all I got.
Kansas. Well, this is what Google says. It
Okay.
says the most hated state in the U.S. is Illinois, where a whopping 25% of the state's residents say that it's the worst state.
Isn't so correct me if I'm wrong here. So you know how there's St. Louis, Missouri? Isn't St. Louis
Mhm.
also sitting on the border of Illinois and there's a St. Louis, Illinois? Is that correct?
I think so.
Because if you think about it, I've heard St. Louis, especially like East St. Louis
Mhm.
or whatever, is like one of the most dangerous places ever. And
Hell
you
yeah.
think about it, Chicago's in Illinois. That's also considered some very dangerous places there. So like maybe that's just kind of why they have just like too many like dangerous areas, man. Like
Underfunded.
yeah, that's what it really comes down to is it's underfunded. And like literally I've heard if you start going to East St. Louis and you run into a cop, they're just like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing here? You're gonna be shot and killed. Like, get out of here. You will be
Speaking of
murdered.
cops, a happy story. Did you hear about that? I keep seeing that woman's face. She was like banging 7 to 8 cops on the police
Happy
force.
story.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
And my
there's so many memes, dude.
well, my
Megan
favorite
Hall.
one. Yeah, my favorite one was a comment where it says, "Well, since us good paying taxpayers pay for all that equipment, release the video." I was like, good argument.
Good argument. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
can we
not
see the cop
bad.
cams? Yeah.
Should be
Yeah,
public.
POV.
Oh
So
my god.
recently, I've been getting like ATF, like I've been in, like these ATF Facebook pages where these guys meme on the ATF and just like post like pictures of like completely illegal shit they shouldn't be doing, and like I'm
Yeah.
surprised the pages have been taken down. But that Megan Hall situation where that she's banging like 5 cops or whatever, like that page has been nothing but those memes for like the last 2 fucking weeks straight. And I'm like, come on, let's just get back to like the cool, funny gun stuff and hating federal government. Come on, I'd rather look at that stuff. You know what I'm saying? God.
I think it's pretty funny. Honestly, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Cop wants to fuck other cops. Let him fuck. That's what I say.
On the
Like,
job though.
yeah,
On the
I mean,
job at work.
yeah. What's the problem? I see nothing. No, maybe not on the job at work. I
The
think
whole
that
big thing,
that will
yeah.
get you out. But like, man, just I'm so surprised that it got like national attention because like she was
Oh,
not
yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Yeah.
her
how are you ever gonna find a job?
her husband's like, what is he like in the forestry? Like he's like a, what do you call it?
A
What's
cuck?
yeah, I mean, honestly, he's cool with it, so he's kind of a cock. He said he's staying with her, so
Fuck it. Hey, she's probably better at what she does.
I guess she was like a pharmacy tech before that, and then just like wherever it
enough
was,
cock.
Laverne,
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee, or whatever. That's one of the states where you can literally just take 6 month training and become a cop.
You know what
Huh.
I found out crazy? Kind of a side note. I found you don't have to do the bar as a lawyer in, I believe it is Wisconsin. So imagine become a lawyer. You don't have to pass the bar, which is the final test. Like say,
Yeah,
like
Mhm.
you're
that's
certified to be a
interesting.
lawyer. Imagine being from a different state. And someone's talking to you like, yeah, well, I went to school in Wisconsin. I'm just thinking as like another lawyer, like, wow, you're like the most pathetic lawyer you could be. I'm wondering if that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitting on, well,
Interesting.
Wow.
I had a buddy
Didn't
that
know that.
went to law school in Wisconsin. He got like a 4-year degree in some, because like to be a lawyer in most cases you need some 4-year degree in literally fucking anything, and then
yeah,
like you can go take your law school, which I think is like another 4 years. But he did his bar even though he's in Wisconsin. I know he was telling me about studying for it and passing it, and he said it was like a nightmare. But once you're
he's
done
lying.
with it, he's
I
lying. He
ain't
could be
never did
lying.
that.
I don't know, man. He's a sports attorney now. Like
Mhm.
he's an attorney for like some big like people that like are literally like lawyers for like athletes and stuff, which is kind of cool.
I'm gonna Google this now because I don't want to sound like an idiot.
That
Good money in
hey,
that,
who
man.
cares?
A
This
lot to
podcast,
learn.
we're all idiots, dude.
Yeah, I was probably definitely wrong about the plot of the Forest too.
That's
For
all right.
president, go get him,
Yeah,
Forrest, man.
I don't know why I was thinking that. It's
I heard
something
it was a
like that.
politician.
Yeah, somebody gets caught or some
You know,
shit.
I wouldn't care really about being a lawyer. I would love to just know the law to that full extent though. You know, like I would love to just be like section article 52 section B,
Mhm.
that's this. Like to just like out school like if someone's trying to call me on
You know,
bullshit.
being a nerd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite thing would be definitely fun to like get in arguments with people, especially like the key witnesses or the eyewitnesses. Those are so like you can't count on people at all. Like
Mhm.
I hear those are horrible to build a case on because it's just like, well, is that the person? Yeah, I saw him. How do you know? Oh, he was 3 football fields away in a car going the opposite direction. I for
Yeah.
sure know it was him.
And that
It's
prosecutor on the other side's going to grill the shit out of you as an eyewitness too.
Yeah.
You know it's happening.
I'd
Like,
make
you
you.
know
I'd try to make you
100%.
cry.
Yeah.
Like, do you need help to get home today? I don't know. I belittle him.
I'd be a mean fucking lawyer.
No, it'd be
I'm gonna
funny
make him
though.
cry.
You'd
Yeah,
be
it would be
you'd be a
make
corrupt lawyer like
Little
Saul.
baby boy,
Uh,
little baby piss boy.
What's the matter? You pissing your pants
Objection.
on the stand? Yeah, objection.
you little pissy boy.
You know, what are you? What
Pissing
are you
your
gonna
pants on the
piss?
stand? What are you
You
gonna
gonna
pee?
come?
Oh my god,
You
fuck that.
gotta come on the stand. You need some help with that?
Yeah. You need mommy's help? Even though I'm a guy,
You need
I
mommy's
sprint
help.
for the stand.
Overruled. I'll allow it.
Right.
Well, I would like to do some UFC talk briefly, and I know you listeners out there probably hate me for this, but I need to talk about the UFC. There's been a lot of changes lately, but I'll make this quick. So Francis Ngannou vacated his heavyweight belt. He's no longer the heavyweight champion.
Get him out of here.
Honestly, to me, the reason why I'm
True.
okay with this is A, he was not really a big draw for the UFC anyways, in my opinion. B, he barely fought. And yes, injuries happen. But like if you have an injury and you're out more than a year, I think you should just vacate your belt so other people can fight
Yeah.
for it. Like
Oh,
there's
Yeah,
no
you can't
reason.
just like hoard it.
That's the
No.
thing though, is that's what they
Can't hog it.
literally do. They get injured and then like it'll be like a year and a half till we see another title fight because we have to wait
That's
for the
insane.
champion. Whereas like shout out Yuri Prohaska, he was the light heavyweight champion. He just got it like 6-7 months ago. He was supposed to fight this Saturday, but 2 months ago he tore his rotator cuff. You know what he did instead of holding up the division? He's like, I vacate my belt so these guys can fight for it. I'll come back in a year once I'm healed and I'll come fight for it again. That's how it should
Good.
be.
Yeah, it should
Like
be.
that's
Shouldn't
how
be-
it should be.
Even a year was just too long, in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah, and if, like a rotator cuff, it's really gonna probably be like 2 years until he's fully back to like how he is, if he's even normal again, because that's a huge injury. But so Francis Ngannou vacated the belt, and the reason why is because the UFC said they offered him more money than any other UFC fighter, like more than Brock Lesnar. And I hear it was $8 million. They'd offered him $8 million, and he turned it down because he also wanted like fighters insurance. He wanted sponsorships in the octagons. He wanted like a fighters union, and it's like you're never gonna get that, dude. Just take the $8 million and fight. So like. I think Francis Ngannou's thoughts were like, well, I can go somewhere else, get paid more, and not maybe get as injured and not have to fight as higher ranking of or like higher echelon of opponents. So people are saying like he's gonna go to bare knuckle boxing. People are saying he's gonna go to like PFL, a different MMA league that maybe will pay him more. So like everybody nowadays a free agent. Everybody's trying to get him, right? But I think he's probably gonna go into boxing. I think he's gonna try and box Tyson Fury, honestly. Because boxing, there's a lot of money in that. like a ton
I
of
do
money.
like Tyson Fury. He's pretty funny.
I like Tyson. He's fun. The Gypsy King. He's like, I'll knock your head off your shoulders. He's literally got a gut and he's knocking
He's
people
like
out.
a 45-year-old dude. He's just like,
Yeah, dude.
fuck.
It's sick, dude.
Dropping people.
I would like to see Francis Ngannou box Deontay Wilder, that guy that Tyson Fury beat a couple times recently.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see him box that guy first. I think that'd be a good fight. But again, boxing's very different from MMA, man. It's very different.
Dude, that's why I'm not the biggest in UFC or too much in boxing, but I got a little bit into boxing because I was watching that Twitch YouTube or chess thing.
Yeah.
Or, but just rewatching old things, I got really into Mike Tyson, an absolute unit he was. But what I was really gonna ask, do you think Conor McGregor's just fucked at this point? Because I don't think I've heard people that break their leg that way. No one has actually successfully came back.
So here's his kind of choices. I don't know. I know the extent of his injury. It's been a minute since I've researched or talked about it, but I do think he's gonna have to keep that rod in his foot for a long time, if not life. That rod in his leg. That's
Life,
yeah. And I don't know where the line is in pro MMA if you can fight with something like that inside your leg, right?
Just
It's just a metal bar.
Personally, I think
The Terminator.
I think he's not coming back, and if he is, he has to come back at a heavier weight class. And as you've seen, he's fucking huge. He's massive. If he's gonna come back, it's gonna be at maybe he cuts to middleweight, welterweight, maybe, or he just fights at 205, light heavyweight or something. But honestly, man,
done.
I think he should just be done because it's what happens to a lot of those guys that hit that upper tier where they get so much money, especially him, and so much fame where he played his cards right and invested in a lot of stuff, started a liquor company and did a bunch of stuff with his money. He was smart with it, where they say it's hard to be a savage when you wake up in silk sheets. When you have that much money, the hunger for being a fighter is not there anymore. But just the other night, I'm going back and I'm watching the primo old school Conor McGregor highlights. He was a savage, dude. He was knocking people out no problem. What was it? He took Jose Aldo's belt in 10 seconds. He knocked him out with a 1-2 or something, and then he had the belt. And he was I could be wrong. I think he was one of the first double champs in the UFC, meaning he had the belt in 2 weight classes, featherweight and lightweight.
I think he was, yeah.
But it's just funny because he was an Irish plumber. He was literally he literally was a plumber in Ireland before he's now I'm gonna go knock some fuckers' heads off. He's just that's what you just
Give
decided.
me a bet.
Really good.
Yeah.
I like what you said about them being tough and they're doing this shit. I think one UFC fighter was you're not a savage. You're literally in the back getting makeup put on.
Yeah, Kevin Hall. He said that about Hamza.
You're not a savage.
He's these guys aren't gangsters. They're not.
And I didn't get to talk because I stepped away, but swapping from MMA to boxing, I think doesn't work out at all. I don't know, man. Because fuck, man, those boxers, all they're doing is hitting the bag with their 2 fists, man. That's it. They ain't practicing kicks or nothing. Versus you're practicing kicks the whole fucking round, plus a different stance. If he goes and fight Tyson Fury, he's gonna get a shit rocked 100%. I don't see it
when
going
you were
any
gone.
other
I
way.
was saying I'd like to see him fight Deontay Wilder first, the guy that almost took out Fury or maybe beat Fury once. I can't remember.
I still think he'd get his.
It
worked,
dude. If he wants to box, it's gonna take him a couple of years. He ain't getting any younger. He's right. I don't think Ngannou's that old, but I want to say he's 33, 34, maybe 32 at the youngest. But he's not. When you get, I would say, call it at 35. Most of these fighters, because that's when you literally see a majority of them go downhill. There are outliers though. Glover Teixeira is 42, 43, and he's fighting for the light heavyweight belt, and he was the light heavyweight champion last year. He was the oldest person to ever obtain a belt in the UFC, which is crazy, and he got it last year. Now he's fighting for it again. But
I think it just comes down to your mentality, like you said. He has that fighter mentality. He wants to win, man.
He does, and I don't know, man. The sport's interesting. That's why I like to follow it. But I'll close it with couple more things. So with Francis Ngannou out, guess who's coming back this spring, boys? John Jones. John Bones Jones is going to be fighting Cyril Gane now for the heavyweight belt. So for those of you who don't know who John Jones is, which you probably should, he was the youngest UFC champion ever at 23 years old. He was the light heavyweight champion at 23. 10 years ago or whatever. And he was knocking everybody out. He was wrestling everybody. He could do everything. Grappling, whatever you wanted. He could outstrike you. Now, him fighting Cyril Gane, I think he's gonna have. I think Cyril Gahn will be able to hang with John Jones on the feet, striking wise. Like, I think it's gonna be a fair match, but Cyril Gahn got out grappled by Francis Ngannou with a blown out knee, who isn't a grappler. So I think John Jones is just gonna ragdoll the shit out of Cyril Gahn, but we'll see. I mean, that's not till this spring here. I think it's coming up in March, but gonna be interesting one. I can't wait to watch that one, especially since the heavyweight division's kind of finally starting to like move again, because it's just been so dormant for like over a year.
Kind of sick.
But yeah, I know you guys probably don't have much thoughts on that, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it because like it's just it's interesting. You don't really see many people vacate their belt and literally just leave the UFC. It's happened like a couple times maybe. So.
Oh, I have a hot thought on that.
Yeah.
To UFC.
All right. Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Jackson, did you have anything you wanted to bring up topic wise, or anything on your mind this week? What you been thinking about?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna talk about some of the annoying things that come with working at a retail store.
What grinds your gears?
Yeah.
What does grind my gears? You know. Let's just talk about a couple interactions I have. And okay, I did this one sort of shitty thing that I probably shouldn't have done, but to be fair, I really don't care, and I still did it. All right, so I'm at work, man. I got 20 minutes left. I'm trying to finish this one thing off, man. And I know I shouldn't like say like, oh, that's an excuse. I did have a shitty day that day. And I have 20 minutes left. I'm like, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. And this guy comes up, this really heavy dude in a mobility scooter. And right off the bat, he was kind of snippy with me. He was like, well, this chair broke down, doesn't work, and I want a new one right now. And I'm like, fuck, I have to get him a new like mobility scooter. I'm like, fuck. I go all the way up to the store. They're all gone. There's not a single one. I don't have any to give him. And a moment in my mind crossed my head because I had everything I had to leave on me, and I clocked out and I left. I was like, I just fuck it. I was like, fuck it. I didn't know what to do. I felt so bad. Like there was no mobility scooters. I didn't want to come back empty-handed and be like, don't have a scooter. Figure it out, retard. So I just said, fuck it. I'm going to leave. Sorry, Target. If they see this, they're going to be like, you're terrible customer service.
You come back with a normal cart and you offer to lift him into the cart and wheel him around.
No one lifted that dude up. But I just turned around and left. So I felt bad, a little bit of bad about that.
Honestly, man, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, but I couldn't. Either way, he wasn't going to get the scooter. Whether or not I came back, he's still not getting one. So,
it's just funny to think, how long do you think he just sat in that
scooter? there was so many people around. There's no way he didn't ask someone else. But holy fuck, that was funny. All right, second thing. All right. So just picture this right here. I'm gonna do a little reenactment. I'm sitting here. Let's say I'm stocking shit. I'm stocking pizzas and shit. People love to do this. They love to do this. Say I'm stocking. They'll come up right behind you. And they'll hit you with this. They'll just go like this. Lasagna. That's all I say. And I'm like where is it?
Fuck?
And I'm like, what do you want from me? They'll come up behind me. Milk. Where's milk? That's all I say. Milk. I don't know where the fucking milk is, you know? Or like, what do you want? You can't just say one word of what you want, you know?
Yeah, they just come up behind you. Light bulb.
Yeah,
where are the light bulbs?
They'll do that, and that drives me nuts because I'm like, NPCs. I swear they are some of them. I swear to God.
Like you have like an Oblivion NPC interaction on a daily basis.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. All right. And second thing is when I'm stocking a cooler and I have the door open. If you see a door open at the supermarket, do not close the door. Leave it open. Because I had one guy close the door on me right before I put something in, and he didn't open it for me, and he's like, oh, I didn't see you there. I just wanted to save some energy. And I'm like, who are you, Captain Planet? You're not seeing any money out of this. Like, leave the cooler open. Like, these people think they're such on a high pedestal. But that's some retail complaints right there. Just some shit that I noticed that I always think about.
That's pretty good.
Very, very annoying. Like, yeah, that's all I got, though.
Planet?
That's Jackson's fucking shitty job, you know, to deal with dummies on a daily basis.
What's been grinding your gears, Jack? Anything on your mind?
Anything I like, anything I don't like, mostly. Mostly school. Work 10 hours a day and then try to do school right after
What
for
are
a couple
you
hours.
what are you
But
studying?
I'm trying. I technically just got my AA. I'm going to a new school.
Nice, man.
It's all online, but
Congrats.
I'm getting certified in cybersecurity, and we have to take. There are two classes that want to fight the teacher. Like, I'll actually set up like a boxing event for your podcast, and I'll fight that fucking teacher. He's like 53, nice man, but the class sucks. One was critical thinking, and it's literally I didn't me and my friend Rick I'm going to school with.
Yeah.
It's critical thinking. If Jesse and James walk into a store, and Jesse wants to buy something, who's gonna pay? And it's just like, am I being gaslit? It's like you're reading a paragraph, and it's just like I read this slowly out loud. Nothing stuck. It's like I'm being gaslit in real life. It's insane. And ITIL is basically critical thinking, but it's so like all organizations for like tech.
What's
It could
ITIL?
be ITIL. It's basically like a system that say like providers would use to like talk to like any kind of customer. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's a big thing so everyone knows what you're talking about. Like when you say the word provider,
Yeah.
that someone, provides a service.
Yeah.
And then it's like a customer is not really like it's not you or me. It's technically like if I was a school and I want an internet service from Microsoft, I'd want to buy it from Microsoft. The school would be the customer, and then the user would be, who's going to use it day to day. So teachers and faculty, whatever. But it's just again, I'm reading this book word from word, and it's like I think I'm getting dumber. I have like 97 flashcards, and it's just like it's like critical thinking. I think we got it down, me and Rick, but it's like this is the first time it feels like I'm in a psych ward.
Yeah.
Like I'm gaslighting myself. I swear to God, I'm losing like grip on reality. Everything's getting fuzzy.
I had one teacher I had at or LSC, the college I went to, one of his like intro, it was like one of the intro classes to like computer science, and
Mm.
his everything in the class was he was one of those teachers where like everything he taught and whatever was super easy to learn, and like you'd read the chapters and whatever, but then he would put stuff on the tests that were not covered at all. Not covered at all. And then it's just like his tests were like beyond the hardest, and a lot of them were like trick questions. He would like try to get you to answer wrong,
Yes, that's
and it kind
disgusting.
of pissed me
Yeah.
off. So you say you got your AA? Are you going to get your bachelor's now then, in like an IT related field? Is that your plan?
Yeah, IT obviously, well, cybersecurity
Yeah.
for sure, because talking to Rick,
Yeah.
um, just even if there's another super pandemic, like there's always going to be a job security for it, and
Yeah.
obviously I think it's pretty important because 95% of my life is all online. I don't
Yeah.
really use social medias at all, but like I use a VPN. I don't really pirate anything when I was younger. Yes, I used to be a shitlord, and every
Yeah.
game before I'd buy a game when I was younger, I'd pirate it and like play it for a day and be like, all
Yeah.
right, I like this, then I'd buy the game.
Mhm.
That's usually like the use case out of all that. But like I don't have anything on my computer. I like to feel like I have the lock and key, and not that like if I send you a link, you can't just like instantly get my computer and be like, well, I have your ID now. It's like you can't really do too much with that. It's just like
Yeah.
it's stupid that I've talked to. I will hate it because when I graduate, you know what's going to happen? Everyone in my family is going to ask me for
Oh
fucking
yeah.
help, and what do
Trust
I
me.
want to do right after
I
work? More work for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm the family IT guy, man. That's what it is now.
Mhm.
Hey, good for you going and getting your bachelor's. That's something I really, man, I kind of look back and regret it sometimes. Like, man, why didn't I just go? I have an AA. Why didn't I just go get my bachelor's? But it's also like I'm making pretty good money and I have a really good job, and also like I never
As
really
long as you're
wanted.
happy.
Yeah, and but like I never really wanted to do security. Like I went to school for it because I knew I was good with computers, and like that's why I'm kind of like going on, like everyone's got a branch path. Like IT can go into a million different things. That's why I'm kind of going into like the systems admin, network admin roles, because I just enjoy that stuff more. And don't get me wrong, I'm still doing security. You can't avoid it now.
Oh, for
You're
sure.
still having to lock stuff down. Like it is what it is.
Mhm.
That's cool, man. Like good for you. Are you I think you're like if you guys do some type of graduation party or something, let me know. I'll come attend.
No, for sure. And I was gonna say, if you guys ever have like a milestone or something, I think it'd be really. I don't know where you live, Jackson, but it'd be fun to do like the podcast, like on the couch. doesn't have to be me exactly, but
Yeah,
it'd
yeah.
be, you know,
Yeah,
No,
very
there's-
I was
special.
honestly
We definitely
thinking,
wanna
yeah,
do
like
that.
that's the thing. What goes into like also me moving. Wherever I move, Jackson like kind of wants to come with because the plan is like when I buy a house, we're renovating the basement or some room literally into like a
Perfect.
full-time studio. Like it's gonna be like where the cast is filmed. We're gonna do this, but with remote people if they want to be remote. But
Mhm.
we're gonna set up like an actual in-house studio, like a real podcast, and like actually have cameras, like a decent set and stuff like that. And honestly, being together too, it's more personable. Like I feel like this
Yeah,
is a
100%.
conversation. It's fine. This is fun. This is
Mhm.
fine. But it's more like intimate in a way when you're actually in a room with somebody and you could like throw something at them or something
It
if
could
you
be
wanted
like
to, you know?
human contact.
Yeah,
Human
right,
contact.
exactly,
It's like even here you
exactly.
can tell it's just fucking light.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I 100% understand that because like again, it's gonna be YouTube. I use Discord because I hate every other social media, but
Yeah.
it's nice because even hang out like this, I mean, yeah, it definitely hits a lot different when it's obviously in person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I've considered the move to a program called XSplit, which a lot of people use for podcasting remotely like this. And honestly, I really should have because it was super cheap on Black Friday for a lifetime. You buy it once, you have it forever.
Nice.
And I was really considering that because a lot of people use it. And the reason why I'm considering that is because I think as the podcast grows, we're going to eventually have a Jamie like Joe Rogan has. And you can't really have a Jamie in here without them showing up as a square, you know? And like, and that's like, well, it could be
I could
different
just do
though.
This. Oh, I don't go far enough.
Yeah. But if it's like an in-person thing, it makes it a little easier then.
No, for sure.
But obviously we'll cross that bridge. Right now, you know, and I guess this is for our listeners too. Right now, the biggest investments Gutterball are what we are trying to make is in recording equipment, such as like a shotgun mic, like a boom, an actual super nice camera setup. And by super nice camera setup, I mean like a stabilizer, an extra monitor screen. Like I'm talking like hardcore high-end camera with like nice lenses and stuff. Because we do want to do stuff other than the podcast, especially with like gaming videos. But we want to do like the Channel 5 news guy that just got caught for like sexually harassing a bunch of people or whatever. And like we're trying to like
don't do that part though.
No,
He did it right.
Yeah,
though.
we're gonna do
He
the whole
got
thing.
caught. He got caught after he got his HBO deal, so he's already good.
Yeah. But we plan on doing some like street interviews, like sketch comedy. Like we really have a ton of ideas and a lot of stuff written down. It's just the funding, getting it to work. Like there's a lot that goes. Like it's just gonna be. It's not gonna be like this year. Like I mean, like I know for sure the camera and stuff will be this year, and like maybe getting a sketch out. But like it just sucks because like we always feel limited. But we always know like this ain't going anywhere. We'll just keep doing the cast and growing it as it is now. When we come out with new content, when we come out with new content, we come out with new content. You know, I just can't wait till we get enough people to start selling merch. It's not that I even want to make money off merch. I just want people to wear. Like,
I
our
just
clothing
on the street and pointing out and be like, "Holy shit, that's mine!"
Yeah,
Look at
exactly.
that guy.
Like that'd be like so real. But yeah, the biggest thing, like I think with a lot of people, even like starting like streaming or making YouTube videos, you don't need the top of the line everything. Like,
No.
you guys sound great right now, Jackson. You said I think you got like a new camera, maybe. You look
Yeah, new
crisp,
camera.
very
Yeah, hell
crisp.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
As long as you know you have decent audio, if it sounds like you're recording in your bathroom taking a shit, then yeah, I probably won't watch it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you guys haven't had that problem. But yeah, it'd be really nice because I've also looked into like a lot of that stuff. I mean, streaming seems a lot harder than just making like videos. 'cause
Oh
you
yeah. Well,
easily cut it up.
you could think people think of it as something so easy, but you got to go into it with the business mindset, kind of even. You know, it's literally like creating a business.
And that was a
You're
problem.
not going to take off right away. So
Yeah,
No, exactly.
Yeah, and that was a problem we had at the beginning, and that's like also why like I think like our other host really wasn't on board. Is it turned out as a podcast just being fun and friends, but then you realize when it turns into something that's growing, it almost turns into a business. And I don't know if he liked that aspect that much, which is fine. But like that kind of loops us back around. We were looking for a third host for a while, but then now we're just like, what if we just get a guest every time? Let's just get a guest every time. Then we don't really need a third host, or like have two guests on, right? Because I mean, like with the third host, it would be really 4 people right now, right? But I think like also too, like we sometimes feel like we need a third person because Jackson and I sound extremely similar, like as being brothers. But I mean, if you're watching the video portion of the cast, you can obviously see. But we do have listeners on Apple Podcasts and trying to branch out there as well. But yeah,
Fuck
it's just
you,
a
Apple.
project.
Sorry.
Fuck yeah. No, I
Yeah,
hate
side
Fuck
note.
Apple.
dude,
No,
I'm
I'll
the
hate Apple.
I'm
all
the
day.
Hate most companies. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm the Mac admin at work, and boy, do I hate managing those on an enterprise level, man. It's rough. They're great. Their security's great. That's about it.
Yeah, I love them.
That's about
I
it.
love. I used to love jailbreaking their shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because anything with computing and stuff, and it's like torrenting. It's like Steam. I like Steam, but it's a monopoly online for like games and stuff. So kind of gives you like that 1-2 little freedom pusher. It's like, well, I could download those games somewhere else, and it kind of gives you like, haha, you can't make me conform, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
So
um,
when you get out of security schools, you're planning to like look remotely, or do you plan on moving? Plan on working remotely, or?
I'm not against moving just because my girlfriend right now she works for a news station, and it's obviously where I live is pretty small. So we're for her career, she wants to do that. Completely fine with that. But yeah, I love working from home. My biggest thing, because I worked at T-Mobile and Menards before I worked from home, and I like dealing with people. You have those long days like Jackson leaving, fat people stranded. Don't get me wrong, I've had those things too. But
Yeah.
once you get used to it, you kind of at home always. I'm sure it'll drive some people crazy, absolutely. But I think obviously, I'll come to a compromise. If I can work from home a couple days, go into the office. This kind of wraps back to like having that third host on there. I understand it's hard, going into business with friends
It
or even
is, yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Even like between you two, you could be perfect. There's gonna be bumps.
Yeah,
I'd say
yeah.
just get over it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and it's like I have a good friend going in the same thing. Be good to get a couple years experience. This would be the dream, and then like do contracting, because I've talked to a couple people that are in the same
That's where
field,
the money
and it's like
is.
they make 6 digits in 4 months, and he's like, dude, I haven't wore pants in like 6 months because I just haven't worked. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
So that's the dream. But
it would also be tough working for like a security provider such as like Arctic Wolf or Red Canary, because then you're gonna have to work so much, like even if you're remote. Like
you could give me $1 million and I won't. If I don't, I value my free time. I don't have that much, but I really enjoy my free time.
Yep, same
After
here.
doing overtime for my other jobs, new job, will ask me to do it once in a while. I'm like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
you could pay me $100 an hour, and I'd probably say no. I'm
Yeah.
not rich by any means either. I'd
Yeah.
probably still be like, oh, no.
Yeah, dude. It's what kind of irked me about cybersecurity. It was one of the things. Is like, man, everybody I know eats, sleeps, and breathes it. But like, also all the people I know like work in government though. Like a guy I know is in like, he's like working for the Department of Defense. Another dude I know has got a job at the FBI now. But like those are also jobs where like they might not pay the greatest to start, but it's super good experience. Like it's like
just
top of the line, top notch experience. Yeah. And that also too is like, I heard starting in security is one of the hardest things. Like, cause like a lot of people are like, hey, it's an entry level cybersecurity analyst role, but you need 4 years of experience. And it's like, wait, it's an entry level. What do you mean you need 4 years of experience?
The whole joke in that I have with Rick is, for a bad editor job, no offense to your friends, we'll work for the government. For good, we'll be paid out the wazoo to work for a big corporation that needs it. And if it's right now, it's gonna be like 4 times the amount I make now. And it's just like, there's a certain point, and especially when I got older, not even that much older, like I don't really care about buying like anything at this point. Like I want a car that works. I don't give a shit about like nice stuff. My computer is not built because it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like spending the money on it right now. And once I hit like a threshold, which I usually hear everyone probably has gone up with inflation, like 50 grand, it kind of slows down after that. If I'm making, double that, I'm just gonna not know what to do with it.
Yeah, I'm super unhealthy with being materialistic. Like I like stuff, and that's my problem.
Nice
like
background.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm American. I like my things.
I am American. I like my things. However, like there are a lot, like other than like what's in my background here, there are a lot of things that I just need to sell. Like I've just been noticing, like there's like all my airsoft. Like I have so much airsoft stuff, dude. I love airsoft. I maybe will play once a year. I don't need it. Like I'm not gonna go do it again full time. It's, don't get me wrong, it's fun. Maybe if I move back up to Duluth Superior, I might, because there are a group of guys that play up there, and we rent out Superior paintball all the time. But I just need to get rid of that stuff, and that's like another thing too. It's hard to sell that stuff. Like airsoft stuff is really hard to offload, especially since like Facebook Marketplace doesn't let you put it on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they ban any type of gun replica, anything like that. It's
Even
not
Nerf
allowed.
guns? I feel like I've seen Nerf guns.
Maybe
This
toy
is years
guns,
ago.
but yeah.
Nerf
I
guns
don't.
probably.
But even I've heard some eBay listings will get taken down now, and it's like Jesus, like
I get some can be hard. Don't get me wrong. Like if you get like a real like version of like I don't know Magnum that has like
Yeah.
the bullets where you put like the Nerf, not Nerf, the bullet right on top.
yeah.
But yeah, my biggest hoarder is gonna be like I have almost like all the old consoles that nowhere to put them. I want to get like a big glass
Same.
case, but I love them. I
Yeah.
don't really use them because my emulators hit everything.
Right.
But
Exactly.
it's just they're sick to have.
Dude, that's the thing is like I told myself I will after like having to reacquire a lot of my GameCube collection I used to have as a kid. I told myself I am never selling ever another console I ever own. Even if I don't
Why?
use it and
Yeah.
it sits and collects
Yeah, it makes no
cobwebs,
sense.
it's staying. Like I miss my Xbox 360. I still don't got another one of those when I know I could just go grab one for like a $75 on Marketplace or something. But like my PS4, it sits out there. I haven't powered on my PS4 in probably a year. I think I powered it on when I moved here in March just to make sure it still works. I was like, okay. And now it just sits out there and collects dust.
Mhm.
But at some point I'm gonna be like, dude, I want to go back and play The Last of Us or whatever PS like UFC 2 or something on the PS4 and I can just go do it. But
Yeah, it's good to have them.
it is good to have them. Yeah, I really, dude, I kick myself all the time for getting rid of a lot of my retro shit younger or my mom selling it or something.
Mm-hmm.
As you deserve.
I know. Like if I still had my Game Boy SP, that specific Nintendo one I had that was like the cool design is literally going for like $600. And I'm just like,
Jesus. Yeah, you're just like, yeah, that happened to me with a lot of streetwear clothes where I sold them and now they're worth a lot of money. And I'm like, should have kept that.
That's
Thing is
I haven't
sick.
been collect. You know, I went through that spur, you know, during the summer where I was buying a lot of stuff, but I haven't really bought anything since, and I think it's a good thing.
Mhm.
I've been really trying to conserve money lately, mainly
Yeah, I've been
because like
pretty good at
I
that.
do have enough for a down payment on the house, but as you realize, the more you have for a down payment, the less the payments are. So I've just been kind of trying to like slowly stack up more. So then when the housing market crashes, or if it just stays the way it is for fucking ever, and I go buy one, like at least I just have more money, I guess.
And the biggest thing too, if you buy it, I like have a good cushion because if you buy that, everything gets passed, and then for some reason your roof collapses. That's like 20 to 30 grand.
Yeah.
Houses are
Yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
actually, a guy that I work with, he's a geologist and he's like a really smart guy. Like he shouldn't be at Target, you know what I mean? But I talked to him and he's like, yeah, I bought a house, made a bad investment, and lost all my money in it because like I had to make it inhabitable, you know. And he's like, yeah, I had to take a job at Target. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like he's like, yeah, dude, it just ruined me. And I'm like, that's scary, dude. Like something like that easy, dude. Then he's
Yeah.
working at Target. I don't know how much a geologist makes, but they definitely make more than a fucking person working at Target. So, but yeah.
It is scary. You never know what can happen. And that's why like man, you just really got to have a good cushion. Like, you know, they say like it's always good to be able to have like 3 months of living expenses, right? Like have enough money to just survive for 3 months, like pay your rent, do whatever. And it's like, fuck that. It should be like a year. Like, you know,
I
because
say 6 months is what I usually
6 months minimum.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can think about it right now. I'm sitting comfortably 6 months or whatever, but it's also like that's also if I choose not to like pull money out of like my Roth IRA or like my cash out my 401k early or something like that. So like there's always money that I don't want to use, but it's there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like I like cars. I'm like Ricky. I like cars too much. I wish I hated
You
cars.
animal.
I wish I hated
will say,
cars.
watches are. If I was rich, I might accidentally spend. There's one watch,
Watches are
Jacobs and
nice.
Co. And it's just all glass dome. It's like the solar system that goes around and it sells. Because at one point I wanted, I think it was a G-Wagon 6x6, and that's like $500,000. This watch is the same thing, but this watch is the most beautiful thing I've seen in a long time. It's crazy. But at the same time, if I'm in the store, I have $500,000 in my hand. I'm just like, how can you, in my mind, unless you're a billionaire and money's just not, it doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
it just killed me to spend something like that.
Dude, like for literally like I wish I could swap shoes, like not do any of their daily tasks, but I wish I could swap shoes with somebody for a year. Someone like Joe Rogan, just for like the money aspect, the monetary aspect, like to just not worry about money for a year. Like you could do whatever, go wherever, like you just have unlimited funds for an entire year and like use it, you know, like however you want. I just want to feel like how much happier I would be or how much like if it just didn't really make a difference over time. Like,
Well, the
Well,
big
people
thing.
say money doesn't buy happiness, but
Mhm.
fuck, it's got to buy some of it, man. I feel, but who knows?
A little bit,
Never been
yeah.
in those shoes. Like, just not having to worry about, oh shit, am I gonna have enough for rent this month? Which I don't run into that, but you know what I mean. Like, oh
Well, as
fuck,
long
like I
as
need this and I can't get it, and I have to save up. You know.
I think with those rich people, like they get like a lot of you hear about like people committing suicide and they're like millionaires, and it's like even like today, like as long as you have like some kind of drive to do something instead of just waking up, you have everything. You don't want to do anything because you don't have like
Yeah.
passions, I guess, to like push
Mhm.
you. Um, yeah, I'd go crazy too if I was just in a big marble house. I guess I could waste my brain on the internet for the rest of my life too and be happy. But
The thing
Yeah.
is like I'm into a lot of stuff, but all the stuff I'm into isn't extremely career worthy and like like
mhm,
good money
Mhm.
investments. Like that's my problem is like my drive is not IT. It's just
yeah,
it's
for
something to
sure.
make money. It's
Mhm.
something I can tolerate, right? Like I just do it.
Mhm.
But like I feel like if I had all that money, dude, I would be boxing. I would be,
Oh, dude.
I'd be training all the time. I would get into like I'd get into classic cars. Like
Mhm.
I would literally do like there's so many things I could think of that I could keep myself busy with. But again, we're not in that. Like who knows? Maybe eventually you do just burn yourself out that like you have so much time to do whatever you can't decide or you just like can't pick a passion. But like it's tough. You are right though. Like normies like us that get up and have a drive and have a job and work your 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it. There is something to be said about that. But again, like what's it like having that weight off your shoulders? But then
Mhm.
also like what's it like to be that popular too? Like wouldn't you rather just be rich but not be in the public eye?
Yeah, everyone.
Right, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, you
Yeah.
everyone
think
would be that.
like I don't we can't fathom it, but think about Joe Rogan walking down the street. He's gonna get stopped by 100 different people in the span of,
And he
20
just probably he
minutes.
can't do
Eh,
it. Like he
you
sends
can't. You
people to go
really
get his
can't.
probably
Right.
not even his wife or anything. He has to literally go send people to get his groceries. Like he has somebody that
Well,
delivers
yeah,
his
if you're
shit and
rich
stuff.
enough, I'm not going to get my own groceries. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or I
Holy
had
shit.
never be in a grocery store. I hate shopping. Fuck that.
Oh,
Yeah. I actually, I always thought like one thing I've always wanted to happen with the podcast is I want someone to come up and be like, "Hey, you're that one dude on that cast. Can I get a picture?" I'm just waiting for that because that's gonna make my entire
you need the
fucking life
merch.
just right there, man. Yeah,
The
just the flex that someone do, But I don't know how it is constantly. That's got to be so
some
annoying,
dude
man.
comes up with off-brand merch of us he got off of Alibaba, and it's like the
I'd
pens with
laugh.
like a big nut sack on it or
I'd laugh.
something.
Like, what is this? What is this bootleg ass shit?
Yeah, what? You're like,
Take it
you're
off.
like, hey man,
Take it
can I
off.
get a picture of the guy for the cast? You're like, wait, we don't sell that shit. What is this
Yeah,
shit? He's
wait
like, I
a-
got it off
take this shit
Alibaba.
off.
You're like, get the fuck out of here right
Yeah,
now.
get the fuck out of here. Take my picture. Take that off.
Yeah.
I hate you. Your mother hates you,
Yeah.
and
You're a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit, guy. Alibaba. Yeah.
Tell
I
me
got it
your
at wish.com.
tell me your elementary school computer hack, Jackson.
Oh, okay. All right. So something happened to me in elementary school that crept around in my memory banks. It just kind of came up one day. Um, while in elementary school, for some really weird reason, I was able to view everyone's medical history because the school nurse shared it to me on my
mm,
on my school files. So I remember being my entire all the way in elementary school up to 5th grade, I could see everyone's entire medical history because they mistakenly sent it to me. And I just remember like if I was devious, I could have fucked over a lot of people with that, but
You
you'd
really
I
could.
didn't.
exposed
Yeah,
people.
I could
Yeah.
expose a
Yeah.
lot of people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I just thought about that randomly. I'm like, how bad of system do you have that you gave this, 8-year-old
Schools
kid
are
access to? Yeah,
horrible.
literally all our fucking medical history.
That's unexcusable. Yeah.
Right. It really is unexcusable. It's how should I have access to it? I was like, oh, fucking, Brian G is allergic to peanut butter, and I had this on him. I'm like, I'm gonna kill his motherfucker. No, but
Mom, what is genital herpes?
yeah, what
All
is
right,
that?
kid. So,
Yeah.
all right, little Billy, it's probably best to give you your lunch money because I know you've been having heart palpitations since the age of 5, and I can give you a real
Nightmare,
scare.
nightmare, nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna put
nightmare,
strobe
nightmare,
light in your eye.
nightmare.
Just fed LSD to this little retarded girl on the block. He's like, nah, man, you can't do that. He's like, nah,
Yeah,
man.
no,
No,
yeah,
no,
no. Eric Andre, dude.
Oh my God,
It's
that's so
crazy
good.
to me that he's supposedly coming back for another season when he said he wasn't going to.
Oh right, yeah, that's crazy actually. That's gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, he
A lot of
already
people
said
maybe
like
is.
season 5 was like the hardest thing to film because a lot of the public pranks got cut because people recognize them. And it's like, well, yeah, what do you do when you're that famous?
Yeah.
That you have to
Mhm.
start getting into the Jackass-esque, like getting dressed up as a really old man, like super good makeup or something
Right.
something like
Johnny
that.
Knoxville, yeah.
How the fuck is Impractical Joker still going as well as it does?
Yeah.
That's all public.
What the fuck? That is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it. And I'd easily pick.
I
it
don't.
up
Yeah,
for
I
that.
don't. Yeah, I don't watch. I'd be like, hey, that's
Do you
Sal.
think?
What
Do
do
you, do you think
I'd
a lot of
ruin their
that's still
sketch,
real?
too.
Do you think a lot of that's still legit, or do you think that a
It
lot
could
of
be
it's
fake.
like fake?
There's a lot of absurd shit in later
That's why I
seasons.
hate like reality or any kind of TV. Even watching like Kitchen Nightmares, it's like you can tell when they're having a conversation. They cut to like a completely different part of the
Yeah.
show where they
Yeah.
said it like 3 hours later and just
Yeah.
cut it into that. And it's just like I don't know what's real, so I don't enjoy it.
Right.
Like I want to
exactly.
feel like these real moments. It's like in Practical Jokers, they even talk about. So I think Sal has like some sort of podcast or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he's like, yeah, usually when people recognize you, you'd be like, yeah, you're on it right now. So just shh. And everyone acts normal, but like, again, if I just
Kinda
go to a
no.
grocery store and it's one of them, I'm like, Murray, you ferret-looking fuck. I know that's you.
You ain't gonna tell me. Shh, I'm gonna start swearing obscenities.
I'm
and
gonna,
shit.
yeah, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna scare the shit out of them.
Like, where's the camera? Let me see it. Let me see it.
Man,
Just
this
start-
is my off day. They don't pay us.
You could be the guy that fucking, gave Sal the good old one too. He doesn't even see it coming. Take that, Sal.
Can we
Don't ever
get,
insult
can
me
we
again.
get Sal on the podcast?
Today's biggest loser.
Yeah, today's biggest
That
loser.
meme of him?
Yeah, dude.
It's just his face.
He,
That's so
like,
bad.
I wonder
Oh,
what he
look
thinks
at
of
him up.
that. Do you think he
Yeah,
thinks it's
yeah,
funny, or do you
believe
think
it.
he's
Yeah.
pissed off?
Hates it.
He probably hates it.
He probably does. He's the
Um,
one that gets shit on the most, I think.
Have I talked about my boxing training on the cast yet? I don't think I have.
I don't think you have, no.
So starting last week, I started boxing classes at like a local boxing place. It literally opened up like across the street from where I work and down in the cities here. I'm trying to go 3 days a week. So I went Monday, Tuesday, Friday last week, which is a huge mistake because going 2 days in a row, like my body was wrecked, not being used to working out.
What'd your guy say? Oh, you want to do 2 days in a row? All right, you'll regret that.
Yeah, he literally said that. Yeah, he was. I literally like when I walked out of the second class, I'm like, "Do you recommend people do 2 days in a row to start or anything?" He's like, "No, don't do
He
that."
should have just hit you right there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think now?
And
Anything now?
and so I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday now to start. Now, Jackson, were you training like every single day when you were really into it?
Oh, yeah, because I was 16 and I had that 16-year-old energy. I'd go to school, go to there
Okay,
after.
what?
Now
'Cause,
I
like-
don't anymore.
Because I just
But
don't
yeah,
know
no, I was
like,
there every
if
day.
I'm doing it wrong and only doing 3 days a week to start. Like, is that not enough?
There's
But-
nothing wrong about it. It's always how much time you put in is what you're gonna get out. That's
Yeah.
what I've been told.
Yeah.
I mean, you see me box. Like, I mean, I was going like 5 days a week in my prime for like a year straight. Now I really don't, and that's how much I got in that year of classes or whatever, 2 years.
Because I'm thinking like
Um,
if I didn't do like, I mean, obviously Thursdays are always going to be the cast, and I don't want to I don't want to
Mhm.
work out right before
No, you
the
don't want to be
cast.
tired.
No.
Nah.
But maybe I'll start slipping in a Tuesday class every once in a while, or going in on a
You should.
Saturday or Sunday, to do it. But I will say it's fun. You know, I've learned the 6 punches so far, and like it's half weights, half bag. So you do 10 rounds and like
You're doing it right.
on the bag, and then you go over and do weights, and then like there's upper body, like it's full body every day, but like
Mhm.
there's an upper focus day and there's a lower focus day, but every day you're boxing, like you're hitting the bag.
Right.
So it's pretty fun.
No, I think if you keep going the rate you do, by summer you're gonna be looking good. I'm telling you, you're gonna be tough.
You look like the Gypsy King.
The Gypsy
Yeah.
King.
Yeah, Gypsy King.
I
Dad
was messing with my girlfriend. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, my biceps are busting out of my t-shirt already, and she's just like, fuck you. And I'm just
Babe, look.
I'm walking, yeah, I'm walking around like
Get-
I've done classes for a week.
Get Destiny in on some classes,
No,
dude. She might be fun at
No,
might have fun
she
at
really
that.
wants to. It's just like it's how much it costs. She's thinking
Right,
about
it is expensive.
it's super expensive, and she's thinking about doing just getting a gym membership somewhere, and at least just somewhere to do like decent cardio, like on like an elliptical or something. Because she's like me, we're not built for running. Like
No,
my
me neither, yeah, I
my
hate
like
running.
I hate running, and so like other cardio things, so like on an elliptical or like a Peloton bike, like I can do that. I love that. That's fun.
The joke everyone used to say I run like a GTA character at school, so I don't run. Yeah, literally say that was my thing, dude. Everyone would be like, "Look at him, he looks like a GTA character." Yeah,
Dude, how about
hate running,
how about
yeah, I hate
how about
running.
Nico Bellic in GTA 4?
No. Your phone's going off crazy.
Yeah, beep
Yeah.
beep beep beep.
Cousin, you fucker.
Nico, let's go bowling.
Yeah, cousin, you want to go play some pool? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cousin, you want to go bowling? It's always when like you have 5 stars and you're murdering a heap of cops. He's like, cousin, you want to go play some darts? It's like, shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Fuck off, yeah.
Oh, what are you guys? Because the only like fighting slash like grappling I've ever taken, I think a red advanced belt, so I was one belt away from a black belt in karate.
Right.
But it was one of those. I'm like 95% sure it was one of those like stupid JoJo's. Well, like in a real life situation, if I went against another belt that went to a real dojo that was the same, red advance with me, like I'm sure I'd get my shit tossed.
Yeah.
The only reason like boxing sounds really cool. I mean, one, I don't I like to have my brain have those little wrinkles still when I get
Mhm.
older.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I do feel bad because I couldn't imagine being UFC and just literally turning someone's brain off and you're like they're dead on the ground. You don't like they're probably gonna wake up, but it's like
Yeah.
they're like seizing on the ground. Like I'd feel
Yeah.
horrible. But I
Yeah.
do
It's
like
tough.
grappling a lot.
Dude, grappling's cool. Well, I will say this: just do what I'm doing. Just boxing, train, never spar. I mean, like I might spar Jackson eventually, just to like have him
That'd be a
test
great
me.
video.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, to have him just kind of
when
test
you
me.
told me they didn't have a ring in there, I was kind of surprised because hitting the bags is one thing, but actually sparring is like night and day. That's where you
Yeah.
actually that's where you're like, oh, this guy could fight, you know.
Yeah, which is
But
why
yeah, sparring's good.
it's like basically a CrossFit class. It's
Yeah.
it's CrossFit with
Well,
striking.
another thing that's good is it's sometimes good to learn how to take a punch. Like I don't they'll probably do it eventually with you, Paul. Sometimes we'll go in circles and just fucking wail on each other's stomachs, and like that will toughen you up because you don't realize how much it fucking hurts
Well,
when you are
really,
punched.
really, it's a no. From what I'm looking at, it's like no contact. Like
No
but
contact.
what I will say is like they do say the classes get more advanced. Like
Mhm.
as they open and stuff, like you're gonna start learning like someone's gonna come over with like a foam noodle and go like left, right on shoulder, and you're gonna have to like
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah,
yeah or something like that. So like, there's
smack
gonna
in
be
the
a lot
mouth.
more defense put into it. But like yeah, like the problem is like I'm paying all this money for that where I'm thinking eventually, man, once I kind of get the basics down and get in decent shape, maybe by summer, to actually go to a boxing gym where I
Yeah.
can actually do the other things and just stop paying for that one because I can literally go to like the one in Fridley is a third or like only 2/3 of the cost of this current one, and I get the full ring. But like I don't get a class, you know what I'm saying? I don't get like
Right.
a dedicated like you need to do this now, you need to do this now, kind of
No, this
deal.
is why you're doing it right. You should stay in that for a while.
Yeah.
Because once you get the form down, as long as you practice it regularly, you're not gonna lose it. But it is one of those things that use it or lose it. But just keep it up, and you'll never lose it.
Yeah, for
You know,
Here's my
sure.
like I'll
question.
yeah.
Yeah,
Why would you pay for that when any of my problems I have, I just Google it or YouTube it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I literally fixed my car multiple times for like random shit in the
just
engine
look it
just
up.
because some 45-year-old in his own shop's like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
you
No,
wanna put your finger here. It's
I
like, Jesus Christ.
dude, actually I think I might have to tear the top motor of my Buick apart this spring and I'm not looking forward
Gross.
to it. Like I'm
Gross.
honestly
Yeah,
really
it's
debating
gross.
if I should just like bring it to a shop and let him do the gaskets cuz they're going to need to be done. Cuz I can do the top one where you just take the intake manifold off and just put a new gasket on and screw it down in the right order, but if I know I'm gonna need the lower intake gaskets and literally like that entire top part like needs to come off of the motor. I looked at a video and I'm like, I don't think I can fucking do this. Like I don't
Just
think
need
I
to take your
can.
mini garage crane and take the engine out quick. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I have that, of
Mhm.
course. Sick.
Yeah, right. I gotcha.
No,
And it's not 20 degrees outside either.
it doesn't have to come out. It just like there's a bunch of bolts that are super fine threaded into the motor that you need to get out and like torque in at a certain spec and I'm just like maybe I'll just like pay the guy to do this. But like you were talking about grappling, like did you do any wrestling or any jiu-jitsu or anything like that growing up other than karate? Cuz karate doesn't
Uh,
really have any grappling, right? Other than just like grabbing people and like using body weight a little bit, right?
Yeah, so my favorite thing about karate, we played this game called Sumo. They'd lay down like a big mat, and each person starts on each side, and you just literally try to chuck each other off. So whoever stays
Oh,
on the
yeah.
map.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing it just kind of teaches you, don't let your back to like your opponent or something. But
Yeah.
I
Right.
just remember because they like have two of us younger like guys go up against like a more advanced person, a couple years older too, so bigger, and it was just dude, they chuck kids like rocks.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the funniest shit. I never really got hurt. I was also I wouldn't say bigger, but I'm like pretty bendable, and I mean I have decent upper body strength, so I win a lot of this. So I never got like absolutely chucked against the wall. But watching these guys just like one hand each kid and just like throw them against the wall like a sack of potatoes that get up like, oh shit, were we close? My ribs.
like
uh,
like Adam Sandler and Billy Madison just beating up all those kids.
mhm.
He's
But other
decking
than
him with the
that,
dodgeballs.
Yeah.
I just play. I've played like almost every sport under. I was gonna try to do wrestling in school, but they didn't have anything up here because
Yeah.
I pick karate over hockey.
Which is
Everyone does
weird
hockey up
because you think
here.
we would have wrestling up there, but we just don't.
No, yeah. So I never got into it, but yeah. I mean,
You did
I
rugby,
also.
right?
Wrestling's what I wish I got into.
Hmm?
Said wrestling is what I wish I got into. One of my buddies is pretty decent at wrestling, Nate. Like, yeah, I could two-step that dude, but like if he gets me on the ground, he's gonna snap my arm, just leave you there,
Mhm.
All I want to
choke me
learn,
out.
I just want to learn how to do a single leg or a double leg takedown. Just they call it riding the pipe. Like I just want to learn
Mhm.
that because if you can get him to the ground and you're on top of him, I'd say like 75% of people won't know what to do to get back up.
Yeah.
No,
And that,
absolutely
like, and
not.
if I could just
Mhm.
if I could just learn how to take someone down with like a single leg or a double, and then just like somehow maintain grappling in full mount, then I'd be happy with that. You know,
Mhm.
I know how to do an arm bar. Ben showed me that.
really.
Arm bars are funny to do. I remember. So I have a brother that's 6 years older than me, and he's like 6'4", built like a truck.
Mhm.
And I remember all through high school and middle school, like we get in fights and stuff, but like it'd be like wrestling, and he'd just like pick me up, put me in some like weird fucking chokehold. I'm like, this is not fair. And I'd start 95 of the fights because he's playing games. I'd just like push him. He'd be like, stop it. You're gonna regret it. I'd run up and like slap him quick and run away. Um, but yeah, other than that, rugby did not teach me too much wrestling, but
Definitely a brutal sport.
it's not as bad as you think, but yeah, I mean, because like compared to football more times like the big hits, you're getting like up to like your max speed. Rugby you're
Right.
a lot closer. So I mean, I played 15, which is like offensive safety in football. So I'm in the
Mhm.
back, literally, because we have a front line and back line.
Mhm.
I'd be the one in the back saying like fatties left, fatties right, and front
Mhm.
line like you're fat, and I'm gonna call you fat because you have to stop the other fat kids from coming to me.
Right.
So I'm sitting there screaming on the field, "You fat fucks! There's an open lane right here!" You see him shuffle, kind of jiggle, shuffle over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
so rugby was insanely fun.
How many
I do
years
like
did you
it.
play that? And like, were you in high school when you did that, or?
Yeah, so I think that was 10th grade. One, my cousin did it, and then I had a friend in it. I think I played like 3, 4 months in it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then they put me on varsity right away with like, I think, yeah, I was like 10th grade, and everyone else was in varsity because a lot of the actually hockey players did rugby too, and we had some monsters on our team. But yeah, after doing that, I only loved 15 because I could like insert myself anywhere. I could get the
Yeah.
ball at any time or do whatever I
Mhm.
wanted. But surprisingly, I will say, 12th grade year I did swim, and that was insanely fun. I like swimming, but I never thought like that was gonna be like one of my top sports. Just
Nice.
because there's 30 guys, we're just all chilling. We had spaghetti dinners. It's like 30 kids in one person's house. We're like sitting there playing DDR. There's like six of us on the couch laid out, and then you start
Mhm.
fights. There's funny. There were like 5 jacks on that team when I joined,
Huh.
and at the end of the year, technically I had 5 sons. Well, that's what they'd say, like, "Hey, I'm your son," because it like the best thing. uh, Random side story: when I worked at T-Mobile, this is like 5 years out of high school, and on the bus, I wouldn't bully anyone, but for fun, like we're fucking around. I'd take like whoever is like close, and you put them. I'd call it the crack in the bus seats, like where your
Oh yeah.
legs go. You shove
Mhm.
the shit under them, and
Yeah.
like 5 years later, kids come in, and like a big thing at the East, everyone dyes their hair or bleaches it.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Remember
and
that.
they're like, "Are you Jackson?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh yeah," and they're telling me like I'm still like people still know of me there, and they're like, "Yeah, we still keep on that tradition." I'm like, "What tradition?" I'm like, "We still shove the kids like under the bus seats." I'm like, "Well, hopefully it's not like just you're
Yeah.
bullying them," but yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Oh well, shit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He started the whole torture tradition of just fucking ruining these kids.
Yeah. Well, and there's dude,
No, just a good fun.
well, it's like why hate frats or like hockey, football. I heard some weird shit on the buses. Like if you're a freshman, you'd sit up front by the coach because in the back they'd literally like try to put a finger up like kids' butts and be like, "Yeah, now you're
Yeah,
part of
those
the team."
those
Weirdest shit
hockey
in the
kids are
world.
they're kind of a little bit fags, man. That's all I know. That's what I heard about them a lot.
That's
A little
rape.
sus.
Imagine you're sitting
Yeah,
there with your team, hey, and then like the older kids just pull your pants down, and be
yeah,
like, "Oh,
that's right.
watch this." Just like
Yeah,
that's the grossest shit in the
that's
world. You have a
literally
shit in your hand.
that's rape. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's so fucked, dude.
That's so fucked.
Completely
That's
fucked.
insane.
It's sus.
Um, well, with that being said, are there any other final topics y'all want to bring up? We're a little over an hour and a half here to call it a show if you guys are cool with it, unless there's anything you guys wanted to mention before we
Wait,
wrap up.
fucker, you started? I wasn't even ready.
Yeah,
You talked about fighting again, so one more thing.
yeah. All right.
Hell yeah.
Well, Jack, dude, I really want to thank
Wonderful.
you for coming on, especially on short
Yeah.
notice. It was great, dude. We want to have you on again. This
Mhm.
was super fun.
Super fun.
Really easy
Right,
to
it
talk
was.
to. An hour and a half like breezed by for me. I was just like looking over and I'm like, Jesus, we're already like over an
Like,
hour.
damn, yeah. It's like what?
It's a good
Oh,
time.
for sure.
I
Thank you
hope,
for having me.
yeah, I hope you had a
Absolutely,
good
yeah.
time.
Glad you came on.
Any closing arguments, Jackson?
Don't do
No,
it.
I got nothing for y'all. Just keep giving us views. That's all I
Yeah.
ask. Thanks.
Everybody, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Apple Podcast link below if you're looking for an audio only version of the
Oh,
cast.
actually,
Yeah,
just thought
go
about
ahead.
that. I made a link tree, so link trees are in the socials bio, so you can go there, get all
Okay.
your fix a Gutterball, all that.
And we'll add
That's
that
it.
into the description below. And from now
Okay,
on,
tight.
every cast and every clip we do. Well, everybody, that was Gutterball 31. Have a great weekend.